Right, in this tutorial we're going to look at October-November 2019 paper, the Pure Mathematics paper 1 for Cambridge, and that's for AS at A level. And we're going to look at question number 4. So on question 4, it's series and sequence question. A runner who is training for a long distance race plans to run increasing distances each day for 21 days. She will run X kilometers on day 1, and on each subsequent day she will increase the distance by 10% of the previous day's distance. On day 21 she will run 20 kilometers. Find the distance she must run on day 1 in order to achieve this. Give your answer correct to answer in kilometers correct 1 decimal place. Right. So the first thing that we've got to note there is that on day one, the runner is going to run 1 kilometer. On day 2, on day 1, the runner is going to run X kilometers. That's on day 1. On day 2, it's going to be X kilometers plus 10% of X kilometers, because the runner is increasing by 10% every time. So we can actually say this is basically, if we factor out X there, that's X 1 plus 10%, which we can write as 0.1. Right? On the next day, it's just going to increase on this distance by another 10%. So we can say, okay, so this is on day 2, which means on day 3, it's going to be the distance on the first day multiplied by 1 plus 0.1, and then multiplied again by 1 plus 0.1. So that's how the runner is going. So we can actually conclude from there that on day 3, this is going to be X 1 plus 0.1 to the power 2. Alright? Therefore, because we know this is following a series or a sequence of events, so we can conclude there that the 0.1 is the common ratio. So, 0.1 is equal to our common ratio, i.e. the difference between each successive distance covered. Now, from there, on day 20, we can now see from this, since this is day 3 and is X1 plus 0.1 to the power 2, we can say on day 20, on day 21, it will be X1 plus 0.1 to the power 20. That's on day 21. But now, on our question, they are telling us already that on day 21 she will run 20 kilometers. So we already know the distance that she is going to run on day 21. On day 21, it's going to be 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers is equal to X multiplied by 1.1, because 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1 to the power 20. Therefore, for us to be able to know the distance covered on the first day, which is basically our X in this case, we are then just going to say we divide both sides by 1.1 to the power 20. And this simplifies to so here we're going to have this and this cancelling out, and 20 divided by 1.1 is going to give us 3.0 is equal to x. Therefore, the distance covered on day 1 is 3.0 kilometers. That's how we get to that. Now, if we go back to the question, this is the first part. So we found that part. Let's go on to the other part. Find the total distance she runs over the 21 days. So, because we've already established a common ratio to this, then we can conclude that this is a geometric series, and since it's a geometric series, the sum of n terms in a geometric series is equal to the a, which is basically the first term, 1 plus r, which is the common ratio, to the power n minus 1, all this over r minus 1. Right, so a is multiplying this whole bracket, of which we already know the value of our r. We already know the value of our r there. And okay, 1 plus r minus 1, like that. Okay, so then, sum of 21 is now going to be a, which is 3 in brackets 1 plus 0.1 to the power n, which is 21, in this case minus 1. All this over basically 1 plus 0.1 minus 1, that's 0.1. So if you were to work this in your calculator, let me just take the calculator out and see how this works. So 1.1 to the power 21, that's that, 7.4 minus 1, that's 6.4. And then 6.4, you're going to divide that by 0.1, okay, so that's 6.4 divided by 0.1. Right, so you get 64, and then you multiply that by 3. The final answer should be multiplied by 3. Okay, so you get 6.4 over 0.1 there, multiply the answer by 3, you get 192, and this 192 will be your final answer. That's the total sum of all the distances that he ran throughout the 21 days. Thank you for watching. If you want more tutorials, you can email me on oscardiura@gmail.com. Okay, so that's oscardiura@gmail.com. oscardiura, D-I-U-R-A, @gmail.com. Thank you.